Hey guys, it's Ed with Solomon's Landscape here. I just wanted to do a quick video. I'm going to try to do more videos perhaps on a more regular basis, but this is the one. We came across this just the other last week about drip line. So people often ask, what is drip line? What is that for? So essentially what drip line is a part of your irrigation system, or sprinkler system as some people call it. What it does is actually bring the water to the plants, and it's just a very, very thin tubing that you can put emitters in, or it comes with emitters built in, and it drips water out of those emitters. And what this does is basically brings the water to the plant, whereas overhead watering is, well, overhead. And so you lose a lot of water through evaporation and through other things, the fact that it's not getting right in the same spot. So again, you're gonna have to run it probably much longer as well to get the amount of water, where a drip line basically just is a really thin hose that runs through the bed, runs along beside the plants, and it brings the water to the plants. Whereas the other way, the old style with the rotors or the spray type systems will it'll bring the water to the plant, but it'll also cover a much larger area, where the drip line is a very focused area of where the water's going. So it's bringing the water essentially to the plant. And a lot of times people set this up before you mulch. So when you put a brand new planting bed in, you can bring in the drip line. Again, it is part of an irrigation system typically, and so you can add another zone, as they call it, or I forgot the word, valve, that allows this to happen. You don't want to run the drip line on the same zone or same valve as something for turf grass. Not only because it's overhead, number one, you have different rates of water going out, and so the plants are probably not going to get enough water because the zone is only running for 10 or 15 minutes. The other thing you got to keep in mind is the drip line does put out usually the sprinklers that we see are gallons per minute. They're putting out so many gallons per minute, whereas the drip line is putting out gallons per hour. So it's dripping out much slower. However, is putting it right where it needs it, so you don't need nearly as much water because of that. So that's some of the benefits to drip line. Again, you just put it down and you put your mulch right over top of it. You won't even see it. Some of the downfalls to drip line that we see is it is a very thin walled pipe. So squirrels can shoot through it. It does get damaged fairly easily. Most of the time it is protected from mulch. So a lot of times it does get protected, but over time, as things degrade and as animals dig, or if you put a shovel in there, things of that nature, it tends to break a little bit more easier because of the way it is made. However, with that said, drip line, most plants, at least in our area, as long as they're specialized for our area, typically once they get established, after about the second or third year, a lot of times you don't really need to run water or irrigation to those plants unless we have supplemental water. If we have 40-50 days worth of no rain and 95-degree weather, that might be an issue. But typically after those first couple of years, that drip line can be turned off because the plants are established and they're able to take care of themselves at that point. So again, that's kind of a brief overview of drip line. Some of we talked about pros and cons. Pros being getting the water where it needs to be and concentrating it at that point or at that plant. The cons are just the fact that it doesn't last as long. It's a little bit thinner walled, so it does deteriorate over time. However, it's still a great way to get water to your brand new plants to get them established. But once they're established again, they're not only needing supplemental water. So again, that's a kind of drip line in a nutshell. Hope it helps. and I mean, there's all kinds of configurations. We're not trying to talk about setting it up or anything like that, but this just kind of gives you a brief overview of Dripline, and hope that helps. Thank you very much. Questions, comments, drop them below, and we'll talk to you there. Thanks.